I thought Lincoln Riley to USC was going to be the most shocking coaching hire of this season. I was wrong. Brian Kelly decided to jump ship to LSU, and this came out of absolutely nowhere. Never in a million years did I think Kelly would leave Notre Dame after he became the winningest coach in school history. While some people aren't a big fan of him and think he's a bad person, Kelly wins football games, and at the end of the day, I don't think he's that bad of a guy, but my perception of him changed a little bit. Apparently, none of his assistants from Notre Dame even want to come to LSU, and this fit just doesn't seem right, and it seemed like he kind of turned his back on Notre Dame. Either way though, that's for a different video, but today I want to talk about his successor, Marcus Freeman. He was named the head coach in waiting this past summer. He was a huge deal at Cincinnati, and I think he's one of the top up-and-coming coaches in the country. He'll now be the head man for the Fighting Irish, and I want to talk about who he is, what he brings to the table, and what I think of the hire. But before we get into it, we're now on the road to 100K, and nearly 80% of you guys aren't subscribed, so quickly be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can help us reach our goal. Smash that like button to support the video and the algorithm, turn on post notifications, and let me know another topic I could do in my next video. Now, let's talk about Marcus Freeman. Believe it or not, Marcus Freeman is the first high major coach to actually have a recruiting profile. He was born in Dayton, Ohio, and actually became a star football player at Wayne High School. He's eventually named a Parade All-American, which used to be a really big deal, and he's one of the top defensive players in his class. He decided to stay home and play for Ohio State. He ended up playing in 51 games and starting 37 games over his career, and was even a second-team All-Big Ten selection. He finished 19th on the school's all-time tackle list, and was definitely good enough to go to the NFL. He ended up getting drafted with the 154th overall pick in the 5th round of the 2009 NFL Draft. He would play for the Bears, but would get waived in early September, and then he'd spend time with the Bills and the Texans before he would retire 1 year later. Why did he retire? He had an enlarged heart condition. This was definitely tough, but he decided to go into coaching. He became an assistant coach at Kent State in 2011, and then he was hired to his first high major job at Purdue. He coached linebackers there in 2013, and eventually was bumped up to the defensive coordinator spot in 2016. He ended up coaching 2 NFL players at that position, including Jawan Bentley, who starts for the Patriots, before he ended up taking a spot on Cincinnati's staff. Despite being a Group of 5 school, Cincinnati was a step up from Purdue with how bad the Boilermakers were, but Freeman quickly became one of the best young coaches in the country. In 2018, the Bearcats led the conference in rushing defense, scoring defense, and total defense, and were even top 15 in the country. The same thing happened in 2019, and he started to get bigger jobs. Ohio State tried to bring him in as a linebackers coach, but he ended up declining that. He declined a job at the Tennessee Titans, and declined to be the defensive coordinator at Michigan State. What did he end up doing? He decided to become the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. There was some traction for him being the new head coach at Illinois, but that never ended up happening. Brian Kelly said Freeman was his top choice for the position, and also implied that he was the coach in waiting at Notre Dame. Freeman did a great job in his first year as the defensive coordinator, the players loved him, and he was a rising star in the profession. Then, Brian Kelly decided to jump ship to LSU, so that left Notre Dame in an interesting spot. Do you go out and hire another guy, or do you let the players' coach take over? That's what they ended up doing, as Marcus Freeman was named the next head coach at Notre Dame. Overall, I really like the hire. He made Notre Dame's defense really good at the end of the year. He's someone that players can relate to. He's going to have a great staff. He's done well everywhere he has been, and it seems that he has the full backing of the players, boosters, and fans. My only issue is he doesn't have any head coaching experience, and to go from an assistant to the head coach at one of the top programs in the country is definitely going to be a little bit difficult for him, and he's going to have to adjust to the speed. There's nothing I don't like about the hire, and I truly do believe Freeman will do a good job. I've been reading so much about Freeman over the last few years, so it was no shocker when he got the job, and he's going to do a spectacular job at Notre Dame. As I actually give it an A+ hire, and I'm really excited for the Freeman era. What do you guys think though? Why do you think Brian Kelly left for LSU? How do you think Marcus Freeman will do? And what coach or topic should I do in my next video? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section, smash that like button for the algorithm, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.